Hey, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I am glad to be with you today. And it is a rainy and a little bit gloomy here in Minnesota, as you can see. But hey, the spirits are high, got a good attitude, had a good day, worked some. I got my son on my sporty. We're gonna go for a ride, but the darn rain started coming. So we had to cancel our ride for tonight, and I got therapy here in about a half hour anyway, some trauma therapy. And tomorrow we're going to go for a ride. We're going to go pick a cool destination, pack a lunch, maybe even pack the fishing rods, and, not the tackle box and all that, but just maybe the fishing rods and head out and find a destination to go out and maybe say hi to some people and do some fishing. So, hey, you guys, I don't do these messages nearly enough. I don't get on here and show you my face and tell you how much I'm proud of you and how much I love you and how much I want you to know that you are supported, right? And that I know you guys support me on the channel, and I'm so grateful and blessed for that. And one of those people is Skeeter, and Skeeter is awesome. He lives in Germany. He supports my channel from afar, and he is one of the biggest supporters I got. He emailed me some pictures, and I haven't gotten the video to watch the video yet, but he sent me some pictures, and thank you, brother. Thank you for being my brother. I appreciate it. And look at this, you guys. We got some drums. Stay tuned, you guys. We got a lot of big things coming on the channel. I got the passenger pegs on my Sportster and the Harley, so we're gonna be taking some trips. I'm gonna be going to a clean and sober biker rally here in about a week. I think we leave next week around the 13th or 14th, so it's a couple weeks. So I'm going to be going to Comfrey, Minnesota, and I'm not going to be going for very long. I'm just going to be going for a couple of days, and that should give me an opportunity to hook up with some people in recovery in a different area of the state, and also Chris Palman and a couple of the dry riders are going to be out there. So that's an MC, a dry sober club MC here in Minnesota, motorcycle club, and they'll be out there, and so I'm excited to spend some time with them as long as everything holds up and I'm able to financially go out there. I'm working hard right now. I'm trying to make as much money as I can this summer, and it's difficult, But hey, I got a good job. I got a good boss. I got a good part-time job. I ain't doing much on the side right now because I've been so darn busy. So, but the recovery, the thing that I was talking about yesterday on the video. Sorry, I got some hair in my face. Is I was talking about Moneyball, and Moneyball is a movie where they have to go and use, you have to do like unorthodox things to get a win sometimes. So apply that to our life, apply that to our recovery. So sometimes we're going to have to go out and we're going to have to make a huge sacrifice to get something that might not look as good or as important to somebody else, because this isn't their recovery. This is your recovery. So sometimes you got to make a move that suits you, right? Or you got to ask God to make a move for you in your life. And so patience, you guys, is one of the number one things that I can tell you guys, that if you practice it, you will get much from it. Now, what are you going to get from patience? Well, in fact, if you're patient, you can get a lot, and you can get answers, you can get lessons, you can get blessings, you can get a lot. And time is of the essence in our relationship, with recovery, with sobriety, right? We don't ever want to relax on that and think, well, we got time, we're good, right? So time is always of the essence in that respect. But when we're looking at getting clean and staying clean and looking at our recovery long-term, right? Our long-term sobriety that we'd like to talk about, that's a day-to-day thing. And that doesn't mean that we are strictly thinking only about today. Of course not. No, we have to think about everything in totality. But, what were you thinking about when you were using drugs? Were you thinking long-term? Were you thinking where you were going to get your booze in a couple weeks? Were you thinking about where you're going to get your drugs in a couple weeks? No. Normally, usually, typically, we were thinking day-to-day. One day at a time. We were thinking in our drug addiction and in our alcohol addiction. We just got to flip it a little bit and take a playbook out of Moneyball and do something kind of backwards, right? They had to win games. Well, what do you do? What do you do when you need to win games, right? You get runs. You need to win runs. You got to have runs. How do you get runs? You can get runs by home runs. You can get by walks, by steals, by hits, by doubles and triples. So they went out and got a team full of people that knew how to get on base. Therefore, they got runs. They didn't get the best swingers. They got was what they needed to win. So, and thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? That is a very good concept for our recovery, right? And don't yourself try to be all that in one, right? We got to have different tools in our toolbox to pull from. hits, steals, doubles, triples, home runs. Now, you saw Sammy Sosa and all these other people, and yes, I know they used steroids, but they hit home runs. That was their specialty. Did they get walked a lot? Yes, they got walked a lot. Did they hit a lot of singles? Probably not. Did they hit a lot of doubles? Probably not. Did they hit triples? Probably not. They hit, the majority of the hits that they hit were home runs, right? That's why they were smacking out 40, 50, 60 in a season, right? So, with that concept in mind, when we think about baseball, and we think about it as a 9-inning game, right? There's some extra innings sometimes, but listen, the game is always the same amount of innings, right? To get to the winning, to get to the end, the finish line, you got to get to the 9th inning, and you got to have what? You got to have more runs than the other team. So I'm thinking this. I'm thinking that the enemy has a set amount of runs. Say he's got a lot. He has 7, 8, 9 runs in a game, right? That just means that you got to get 10 runs that day. That means you got to push a little bit harder. So when the chips are stacked against you and things are down, and you know, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th, you got a guy in first and third, and you need 1 run. Hey, what are we going to do? Try to get that guy in, right? So we don't need a home run. Don't need a home run. What you need is a single, something that maybe you're not very good at. But reach into your toolbox, grab that special bat, pull on the special knowledge or wisdom that you, or the understanding that you've gotten along the way here, and think back to something that might have worked before that you can use this time. And if that doesn't work, then we're on to something new, and that's where the real blessings and work and recovery come. Is when you're digging down deep and trying to do something new. Because what you're going to find out is that when you do that something new, right, and you find a new skill, boom, 1 more tool for the toolbox, another thing that you can use when you need it, and that's that, right? So if you're fighting the fight, don't give up. Don't lose hope. There is hope out here. I can lose hope sometimes. Day to day, it's very variable. But for the most part, I got a lot of hope, and I got a lot of inspiration and a lot of dedication and commitment, and I'm really loyal to my recovery. And my recovery consists of a few things. That consists of not drinking, not doing drugs, not hurting people, being genuine, being caring, being loving, being honest, right? Working a program, needing and searching and seeking for that relationship with God to get stronger, right? That's what it's about. Love you guys. See you on the next one.